who's afraid to call out LeBron. LeBron's a great player and a great guy. But this notion that he's got to have all the best players on his team. He's got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. He want everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time.
You know what's wild? When LeBron James started stacking the deck with super teams, Adam Silver had to step in and rewrite the league rulebook just to slow it down.
Why did Adam Silver have to put the second apron in? Because LeBron got all his guys together. KD wanted to go play with the Warriors. What? Wait, y'all don't want to win the championship and just compete against each other?
That second apron exists today because one man decided competing fair wasn't enough. He needed every shortcut to guarantee rings. And now we're all supposed to act like this is normal. Like Charles Barkley at 35 teaming up with an aging Hakeem is anywhere close to 3 superstars in their absolute prime.
But we can give you no sympathy when you are LeBron James, the best player in the world, with all of those tools, top-heavy tools. We cannot have any sympathy. That's my understanding of it.
Plotting a Miami takeover. Please, that comparison's a joke. Here's the setup. Barkley, a dude who never bites his tongue, who can't be bought, dropped some mild criticism about LeBron's super team era, and suddenly the LeBron Protection Agency went DEFCON 1. The whole system moved like Chuck had broken some sacred code.
I just won the championship. He got a young Kyrie Irving and a terrific Kevin Love. And
Yeah,
now,
but it takes more than that to win the
they
championship.
just won the championship. What do you mean it takes more?
Remember what Chuck said? He pointed out LeBron always got his way. Highest payroll ever. R. Smith when he wanted him. Every single piece he demanded. And then Chuck asked a simple, honest question. Does the best player in the world really need all the best players? Doesn't he want to actually compete? That's it.
They have given him everything he wanted. They have the highest payroll in NBA history. They bought, he wanted J.R. Smith last summer. They paid him. He wanted Shumpert last summer. They bought in Kyle Korver. He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete?
That's the so-called crime Barkley committed. And for that, the media machine pounced like he had just committed treason against the crown. And a Richard Jefferson. Now this man ain't dumb, he's sharp, which makes it worse. Because when you're smart and still twist the truth, that ain't ignorance, that's manipulation.
I remember Charles Barkley got drafted to a team with Moses Malone, maybe Dr. J, and Maurice Cheek.
And that's exactly what Jefferson pulled when he tried to spin the Barkley story. Let's be real, getting drafted isn't the same as secretly orchestrating a backroom super team. Charles Barkley in 1984, a rookie, he didn't choose Philly. Philly chose him at number 5. Meanwhile, LeBron in 2010 staged a whole hour-long TV special.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Why?
Like I said before, I feel like it's going to give me the best opportunity to win and to win for multiple years. And not only just to win in the regular season or just to win 5 games in a row or 3 games in a row. I want to be able to win championships, and I feel like I can compete now.
The decision, just to tell the world he was bailing on Cleveland to team up with 2 other top 15 players in their prime. And it gets even crazier. Dr. J in 1985. The man was 35, still solid, but way past his afro-flying free throw line dunking prime. Moses Malone at 30 was still good, but far from his MVP form of 83. Compare that to D-Wade at 28, fresh off a top 5 MVP finish. Are you serious right now? Then Jefferson doubles down with his so-called facts.
I remember Charles Barkley going to Houston, and then he teamed up with Hakeem Olajuwon, and then Scottie Pippen was also there. So it wasn't older. Olajuwon and Charles Barkley were at year 14.
He tries to point at the 97 Rockets like it's the same thing. Wrong. When Barkley joined Houston in 96, sure, Hakeem was still an all-star, but by the time Pippen came in 99, Hakeem was 36. Barkley was 35, and Pippen, he was 33, with a bad back that had already robbed him of games. Average age of that so-called super team. 35 factorial average age of the 2010 Heat's Big Three, just 26, big difference.
We all had similar situations, and we've all had thoughts about, either management or whatever, and we've always put forth the the team and the respect that we have for each other to go out there and still do our job.
While is his problem, can you help but take it personally with the commitment you made to come back?
No, I'm disappointed. I don't take it personally because I understand he's been put in a tough and difficult position. I think the disappointment comes that, if that was the case, it could have been done.
But Jefferson claims, and I quote, Pippen was in year 11, so he was in his prime. Wrong again. By 99, Pippen was in year 12, averaging just 14.5 points, his lowest since 89. He had just had back surgery that cost him 44 games, plus knee and ankle issues stacking up. That's your definition of prime? Stop it.
Go to Shaq and Kobe. Does everybody remember when they recruited Gary Payton, who was still in his prime, and then they recruited Karl Malone?
And just when you think Jefferson can't stretch the truth any further, he drags the 2004 Lakers into it. Let's be clear, Karl Malone was 40 years old in his 19th season, coming off a year where he wasn't even an all-star for the first time since '88. He gave the Lakers 13 points a night, down from a career average of 25. But we're supposed to call that a super team? Man, these narratives are straight comedy.
The Celtics?
Before Bron made his move, KG, Paul, and Ray joined up.
But here comes Richard Jefferson again, calling Karl Malone the second all-time leading scorer, like that somehow rewrites reality. Newsflash, Father Time is undefeated. And let's not forget Gary Payton, 35 years old, already tossed by his own squad in Seattle mid-season, shipped to Milwaukee because the Sonics thought he was washed. His own franchise gave him up after more than a decade of loyalty. That's not prime talent. That's a farewell tour. Payton averaged just 14.6 points with the Lakers, his lowest since his second year in the league. But go ahead, Richard. Keep telling us this is the same thing as 3 under 30 All-Stars plotting in South Beach. Stop playing with people's intelligence. And Kendrick Perkins, what's good with your memory, big fella? You were there. Kevin Garnett wasn't on some backroom collusion plan. He was traded to Boston in July 2007 in a massive 7-player deal. Ray Allen, same thing. He got traded a month earlier for 5 players and picks. That wasn't KG, Pierce, and Allen plotting over cocktails. That was Danny Ainge grinding the phones, working as a GM. Huge difference between a front office building a roster through trades and 3 megastars cutting checks short to form a cartel. One's the system, the other flipped the league upside down. Now compare the rosters. Miami's big 3 in 2010, LeBron just 25, fresh off an MVP season. Wade, 28, fresh off a 5th place MVP finish. Bosh, 26, dropping 24 and 11. Their combined age, 79. All 3 were all-stars, straight killers in their primes. Houston's so-called super team in 99. Hakeem, 36, averaging 18.9, his lowest in 10 years. Barkley, 35, fading with 16 points a night. Pippen, 33, only giving 14.5 with a broken back. Combined age, 104. And guess how many all-stars? 0. That ain't a super team, that's the old-timers club. So let's call it what it is. This isn't basketball analysis anymore. It's creative fiction. And the fiction these LeBron defenders spin doesn't belong in sports. It belongs in the library next to fairy tales. Here's the part that's hilarious. Every NBA show, every podcast, every panel, you can bet money there's gonna be that one guy, that one LeBron defender. Doesn't matter the topic. Trade deadline? Well, LeBron needs more help. Draft night? Reminds me of when LeBron, random Tuesday in February, LeBron would never. It's like the man's got files on all of them. How else do you explain grown men twisting themselves into knots just to defend the indefensible? And now you can't even say LeBron's one of the greatest. Nope, that's not enough. If you don't bow down and say he's the greatest, you're instantly labeled a hater. You're either in the LeBron cult or you're against it. Since when did basketball debates turn into a loyalty oath? And here's the knockout punch. When KD joined the Warriors in 2016, who screamed the loudest? LeBron's camp. It's not competitive. It's ruining basketball. Hold up. The man who started this trend crime because somebody else copied the blueprint? That's like the guy who invented the nuke whining about nuclear war. You cracked the door wide open, LeBron. Don't cry when others walk through it. At least the Warriors drafted Steph, Clay, and Draymond before signing KD. They built their house brick by brick. The Heat, they had Wade, then straight up orchestrated the big 3 through collusion. Yet somehow KD gets painted the villain and LeBron gets to be the hero? Somebody explain that circus logic because it makes zero sense. Look, I don't hate LeBron James. Nobody's denying his greatness. The man is a once-in-a-generation talent, top 5 all time, maybe even top 3. But what makes people lose their minds isn't his game, it's the constant revisionist history, the endless line about what really went down. Just keep it real, say it plain. LeBron created the modern player empowerment era, where superstars band together. Say he flipped how championships get won. That's fine, that's honest. But don't insult everybody's intelligence by pretending a 40-year-old Karl Malone is the same thing as a 26-year-old Chris Bosh. The facts are simple. Before the decision in 2010, we had never, ever seen 3 legit superstars in their absolute primes scheme to join forces. Never. Sure, old vets jumped onto contenders. Sure, GMs pulled off blockbuster trades. But 3 top 15 players, all under 30, all taking less money to guarantee rings. That was brand new. That was different. That shook the league to its core. And you know what proves it? Adam Silver had to literally rewrite the book. The 2011 CBA brought in stricter luxury tax penalties, the repeater tax, and eventually the second apron. Those weren't random. They were answers to what LeBron started. If it was really normal, why did the league panic and drop rule changes like emergency band-aids? By 2017, the NBA even created the Supermax and the designated veteran extension to try and bribe stars into staying with their original teams. Direct response to LeBron's wave. The league had to build new contract structures just to slow down the blueprint Miami unleashed. And yet, LeBron defenders keep selling fairy tales. Oh, it was just like every other team up in history. Stop it. Let's keep the receipts clear. Charles Barkley getting drafted to Philly is not the same as the decision. A 36-year-old Hakeem is not the same as a 28-year-old D-Wade. A 40-year-old Karl Malone is not the same as 26-year-old Chris Bosh. A GM pulling strings on trades is not the same as 3 stars colluding in free agency. These are facts, not opinions. Facts. So why is telling the truth about LeBron treated like it's a crime in NBA media? That's the crazy part. His actual career is already historic. 4 MVPs, 4 championships, the all-time leading scorer. That resume alone is legendary. But apparently even that ain't enough. His defenders feel the need to rewrite history too, dressing it up with lies to make it bigger than it already is. So next time someone says LeBron just did what everybody else did, ask them this. If it was so normal, why did it break the league? If it was so common, why did the NBA have to overhaul the rules? And if everybody else was doing it, why can't anyone name a single example of 3 prime superstars teaming up before 2010? Exactly, crickets! Thanks for rocking with me, and remember, the truth doesn't need a PR team, only lies do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.